All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a flyover journey across the Indian subcontinent to check out its incredible geographical diversity. I mean, we're talking everything from the highest peaks on Earth to vast coastlines. So let's just dive right in.
You know, there's this fantastic story that really sets the stage for our journey. Back in 1984, India's first astronaut, Rakesh Sharma, was up in orbit. The Prime Minister asked him, "Hey, what does our country look like from space?" And his answer was the title of a famous poem, Sara Jahan Se Acha, which means better than the whole world.
And this is the view he was talking about. From this vantage point, you can already start to get a feel for the vast and varied landscape we're about to explore. You can clearly make out that huge mountain range up north and the peninsula tapering down into the ocean.
Okay, so let's get started. Our first stop, the north, and the massive natural barrier that defines India's border, the Great Himalayan Wall. And when I say wall, I mean it. This isn't just any old mountain range, it's a colossal wall. These peaks create this incredible separation from the rest of Asia, and that has played an absolutely crucial role in shaping India's climate, its culture, and its history for thousands of years. Now, as we move south from the Himalayas, we descend into these vast, fertile plains. This region has been the cradle of Indian civilization for millennia, and there's a very clear reason why. It all comes down to one simple thing: water. You've got these mighty rivers, the Ganga, the Indus, the Brahmaputra, all born up in the Himalayas. As they flow down, they deposit all this mineral-rich soil across the land. This makes the region incredibly fertile, perfect for farming, and able to support a huge part of India's population.
All right, our virtual flight is now taking us further south to explore the rugged and ancient Peninsular Plateau. This is a very old piece of land, way older than the Himalayas. And get this, on its northwest, it's bordered by one of the world's oldest mountain ranges, the Aravalli Hills, which kind of separates it from the arid Thar Desert.
So why do we call it a peninsular plateau? Well, it's for the exact reason you see here. It's a huge piece of land surrounded by water on three sides: the Arabian Sea to the west, the Bay of Bengal to the east, and the Indian Ocean to the south.
Now, flanking this plateau, you have two great mountain ranges, the Western and Eastern Ghats. And they're quite different. The Western Ghats are taller, more like a continuous wall. They're the source of many rivers and are even a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Eastern Ghats, on the other hand, are lower and more broken up into smaller hills.
The Western Ghats really have a unique character. As a UNESCO site, they absolutely come alive during the monsoon season. You get these spectacular, powerful waterfalls, and the dense forests there are just an incredible hotspot for biodiversity.
But this plateau isn't just beautiful, it's an absolute powerhouse for India's economy. It's loaded with rich reserves of minerals and forests, and the rivers that flow through it generate a ton of hydroelectricity. It's absolutely vital. Okay, from the inland plateau, let's head out to the edges of the subcontinent. We're now exploring the coasts, the deltas, and the islands, basically where all that land finally meets the water. And the sheer scale of it is just staggering. We are talking about over 7,500 kilometers of coastline. That's an incredible stretch of beautiful beaches, rocky cliffs, and lush green forests.
So, what happens when those great rivers finally reach the ocean? They slow way down and drop all the sediment they've been carrying for hundreds of miles. Over a long time, that sediment builds up and creates these incredibly fertile, fan-shaped areas we call deltas. And the most famous example of this has got to be the Sundarbans. It's the world's largest delta and, you guessed it, another UNESCO heritage site. Formed by the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers, it's this unique world of mangrove forests, famously home to the legendary Royal Bengal tiger. But we're not done. Way out in the ocean, India's territory also includes two major groups of islands, and each one is unique. You've got everything from coral atolls to islands of volcanic origin with dense jungles. In fact, India's only active volcano is right here, on a place called Barren Island. For our final destination on this tour, we're flying over to the lush, rain-soaked hills of the Northeast. This is a region with a character all its own. This area is known for its extreme weather. It gets some of the heaviest rainfall on the entire planet, which, as you can imagine, creates these breathtaking waterfalls and landscapes that are just impossibly green. But maybe the most incredible feature here is this. These are bridges that are not built, but grown. Local tribes have learned how to guide the roots of living trees across rivers, weaving them together over many years to form these strong, living structures. It's just a stunning example of working with nature.
So, after this grand tour, from the highest mountains all the way down to the sea, what's the big takeaway? What does it all mean?
Well, here's the bottom line. India's geography is incredibly diverse. We've seen snowy peaks, hot deserts, and lush plateaus. And it's this huge variety in the landscape itself that has created an equally rich variety in soil, wildlife, economic opportunities, and ultimately, human culture. The land has fundamentally shaped its civilization. So we'll leave you with this final thought. After seeing snow-capped mountains, fertile plains, ancient plateaus, vast coastlines, and rain-soaked hills all in one place, it's really easy to understand why people call India a subcontinent or even a mini-continent. The term just fits perfectly, doesn't it?